Hello again, this is Hero. It's kind of cooled down today after some record heat. Luckily for me, I can work this a little easier with a long sleeve shirt because it's cooler today. And this is a Scotch Pine. And basically, the black pine is probably the hardest. That's why it's rated the highest of all the Bonsai and Niwaki. Once you master the bonsai or the Niwaki of the black pine, everything else becomes much easier. So today I'm going to be working on this Scotch pine, and well, let's go ahead and get started. Before we get started, we should look at the overall health of the plant. Now this one here, I think it's been neglected somewhat. So the top is a little bit heavy. So I'm going to have to go to the top and thin out the top a little bit more. But if you look at the candles, center candles, that's where we gauge the health of the plant. It looks healthy and fairly well balanced. It's just a little heavier on top. So I'll go ahead and thin that out and we'll see what it looks like. Pines have this same type of growth habit. The big candle in the middle, you cut, right? And then shorten, 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 shorten. Let me explain a little bit about the difference between Niwaki and Bonsai. Bonsai is smaller, of course, and then also the approach to a Niwaki is slightly different, especially how to train. Well, in Bonsai, you have a tendency to wire, except for me, of course. But in Niwaki, we always guide the plant into the shape you want. So if this was a branch, what you do is take this off, right? Well, almost always the center candle. And then these that's going up like that, you cut those off and save these that are going more horizontal. And if you need to, sometimes you'll use string, but if you learn how the plant grows, it's quite easy. So how we get these to stay flat is by capturing the right branch or sub branches. So you see this coming up. What you do is you cut it down to here, then you have one that's going more horizontal. See? That's how it's done. So down here, this branch is going up. We cut this off, all right? And cut these, and then you see that it's starting to go more horizontal. It's not always perfect, but it also don't have to be done in one shot either. So you just get in this habit of removing that things that's going up and then try to capture the one that's going more horizontal. Then that takes the place of wiring and things like that. So one of the things you got to do is to learn how each of the plants want to grow. And once you understand the natural growth habit, you just kind of guide it along into the shape you want. Hey, if you're wondering why I have two different gloves, well, there's a missing pair someplace that looks like this except in the reverse. I have problems finding things, but I have a problem, well, I don't have the problem as much as because I just buy another pair. But just in case you're wondering why there's two different gloves, it's because I can't find the other half of each. Okay, I'm gonna call it quits for today. So this is the Scotch Pine pruning in the spring. Now, like I've said before, there's different reasons for doing the different things. And for me, it's about my weather. So there's excess branches down below to protect the trunk and to fatten that area. And then as we go up, this fall, when I do the actual styling rather than maintenance and keeping it trimmed, I need to address that apex. Up there, the apex, it's not up to par. So I'll be addressing that, but I won't do it now, mainly because of our weather. And I'll probably get to it in November. Well, one of the reasons why Scotch Pine is so much easier than black, well, these will back bud. On the black, you gotta make sure that you do your right technique at the right time, because sometimes it's not forgiving in terms of if you don't have the right branches in the right place. Versus Scotch, they are much easier. But same token, to get what I always refer to as the minimum, the root flare, movement, and taper. And what's happening is up at the top, the apex area, I'm losing my taper. So I'm gonna have to address that, but I'll put that off till this fall into winter. And so I think I'm gonna say goodbye for now. This crazy pandemic thing, hopefully you guys are all staying safe, and we'll see you in another chapter real soon, because guess what? There's a whole bunch of things that need pruning, so I might as well keep pruning. Well, I might as well keep shooting these videos. I've got a captive audience because you guys are stuck at home. But anyway, stay safe, everybody. So this is Hiro saying goodbye. I'll see you again real soon.